Namaste everyone, I'm Siddhartha. Thank you first of all for coming. All of us are here for a single and a common reason, that being yoga. It's a part of our life, or we want to make it a larger part of our life. And we are going to discuss what we do, what are the aspects and various other things. So how the presentation is going to go, I'm going to tell you a few things about myself, the teacher training, some other related aspects. Then Marika is going to come and tell you how the other aspect of this is going to take care. And then you're going to listen about some testimonials of our previous graduates. And then in that time, whatever questions you have, whatever you want to ask, whatever, keep on noting it down. Then we will throw the mic open to anyone and we'll have a question and answer round from everyone, alright? I thought a lot how to give the presentation, what to give the presentation, I'm not a marketing guy, I'm not a business management person or something like that. So I thought that I don't need to prepare anything and I'll actually just speak from my heart and my mind, whatever comes to me, whatever I've understood, whatever comes to my understanding that why am I today standing here in this position and talking to you about yoga, about this educational program and everything. To begin with, let's talk a little bit about myself. I'm from India. I'm born and raised in New Delhi. And I pretty much spent all my life there. My family is a very modern one, but our roots are very traditional, and I don't remember the last time when my mother did not wake up and do yoga every day. Just to give you a brief idea about it, I think when some people ask me, how long have you been doing yoga for? And I say, I think a couple of lifetimes. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure I must have been doing it. One of the reasons it is being preserved, one of the reasons why it is in our blood, because we have seen the importance of yoga and what it does to you as an individual, what it does to the collective consciousness of the society, what it does and the impact it has not just on you as an individual but even government policies. And this is why, if you actually see, at some point of time even the government of India recognized this, went to the United Nations, and for the first time in the history of the world 190 odd countries came together to sign a single pact that was to celebrate yoga as the gift of humanity, and now we do it every year. It's celebrated in a very large manner and everything. So imagine that it was not just India, but at some level even the smart intellectual people of the world, they recognized the value and the importance, and they understood that this is a gift of humanity. So one of the things that I really like to tell people that, if you actually think about yoga, it's purely a cosmic, a universal science. So many people say, I'm Greek or I'm American or I'm Italian or something, but this, I'm not let's say, a Hindu or something like that. How can I practice yoga? We have to understand, we have to go back and understand the concept of yoga for us to be able to know this altogether. The concept of yoga is that it is applicable on any person from any time. It does not matter whether you were a person living around the time of Jesus, or whether you are a person living today, or whether you will be someone who will be living 2000 years later. The impact it will have on you will be the same. It does not matter as at a level of a character, what kind of a character do you have, alright? If applied properly, it does not matter which geography will it have the impact on. So this is why it does not really matter whether someone in India practices it, or whether someone in Greece practices it, or Finland, or whatever the place could be. I might as well add to it and say, even if someone follows the rules, the observances, the path and the protocols of yoga, that could be an alien living on Saturn and he or she might become a yogi and a yogini as well. So it has not to do with your country, your culture, your religion, whatever it is. It's much beyond that. And this is why it is recognized as a science of the universe itself. Now we have come to an understanding about that what role does it play as far as this is concerned. It will improve you as an individual. When you learn yoga, you're not the only person learning yoga. It's your family who's learning yoga with you. It's your friends who are learning yoga with you. It's your whole society which is learning yoga with you. Alright? So, when you learn, you're going to talk about it to a few people. You're going to have a certain change in your lifestyle. You're going to have a certain change in your attitude and everything. And this is going to have an impact on absolutely every single one whom you talk to, whom you think about. That's the importance of it. And this is why I have said it many, many times in my life, that if you have a dream vision about yourself, you need to practice yoga. You need to go deeper into yoga. If you have a dream vision of this whole world, you need to practice yoga. You need to educate yourself about yoga. I really believe, and this is my firm conviction, that if we make every single person on earth, we say leave everything and just let's practice yoga for 10 years. We can remove every single problem of earth. Not just ourselves, but of earth. I can guarantee you this, I can vouch for it. I've taught people from almost 35 odd countries. My youngest student has been 8. My oldest student has been 92. I've seen everyone love it. I've seen everyone change their life for the good, not for the worse. If you have a dream version of yourself, let's say that I, Siddhartha, have some dream version of myself. If I want to achieve that dream version, the fastest tool available for that is yoga. And now we come to SivaOm Yoga teacher training. Why do we do the SivaOm Yoga teacher training? Actually, let's talk about it. First, what I would like to share with you. We do call it a teacher training. God bless you. We do call it a teacher training, but it is first and foremost an educational program for yourself. If you cannot teach yourself something, you cannot teach any person on earth anything. So first you teach yourself. First you become that perfect vision of yourself. First you try to achieve the things in your own life. And this is why we have the SivaOm teacher training program. The educational program, I would like to call it. Now, the importance of this teacher training program is built up on various things. See, I've just written down a few points, so this is not like a speech or something. I've just written down a few points that in case I'm missing to talk about something, I just want to see that I've covered all my bases, because this is our first interaction. Hopefully we will have millions of interactions after this, but I really believe that you should get as well educated about any topic as possible. You should empower yourself with knowledge. There is not a bigger power in the world than knowledge. Knowledge leads us to wisdom. Wisdom removes darkness. So I believe that whatever topic you touch in your life, get the best knowledge. Go to the source. See, if we talk about drinking water, the best benefits of water come when we drink water from the source with the pure minerals, undiluted. The moment you add sugar to it, you will get diabetes. The moment you add salt to it, you will vomit everything out of it. Same, I believe, is the principle for almost every single thing. So this is why we have designed the SivaOm teacher training in a way that it is absolutely pure knowledge without any filter, without any dilution. It is a knowledge which has been passed on in a parampara, parampara means a tradition which is called a Guru Shishya Parampara, meaning the Guru and the student parampara, tradition or the lineage of it. Nothing has been diluted. Why it has not been diluted? Because the moment I will dilute it, I will have a reflection of my ego inside that. Whereas the whole point of this is to go away from the ego. Ego creates a sense of division, a sense of barrier, a sense of duality. No, lack of ego creates harmony, unity, one with the universal consciousness. So, the perfect education, if we talk about, it is made up of two very important components. Knowing where you are coming from and knowing where you are going. If you don't know where you are coming from, you will never be attached to the ground. You will never be firm in your standing. You will never be grounded. And you see, grounding is very important. So this is why we need the perfect kind of education available to us in our capability, whatever we can give. This is dependent upon another very important factor, that what we do with this education, how do we transmit it, how do we communicate it to other people. This plays a very important role in our life. So, we will go now to the aspect of what are we going to study. So, we are going to study about the history of yoga. Alright, I've almost spent about 2 years of research on this topic alone. Alright, I've gone to various ashrams. Example, a tree can be a yogi in my point of view, by the way. Not to rule that out, I think anyone can be. So, we don't have to get into that aspect. So, we are going to talk about it by the lecture given by Swami Abhidananda. He was a genius. He was a remarkable person. He went and just taught yoga in the purest forms. See, we are going to understand that all of this is just a compilation of knowledge. Almost 90% whatever exists in this course, nothing I have created. I will just elaborate on it from my own cultural experience, from my own family experience, from my own individual experience. I will just elaborate on it and I will give you details of it, but all this knowledge already existed and it has been existing for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We have to understand that almost anyone who says that I have created something in yoga is outrightly either talking out of ego or is lying to you. There is not a third thing which is happening. To be really honest. Alright? Some people, they move out of traditions, but then can you really call it a yoga? Yoga means absolute freedom. Union of the body with the mind, with the soul. And the soul with the super consciousness, with the universal consciousness, in harmony with the universe. Alright? Anything which does not lead you to this is not yoga. So let's say we are doing something and it has very amazing effects on my body. It has very beautiful effects on my mind. But it does not lead you to a stage of enlightenment and does not make you free from suffering and does not liberate you. Cannot be yoga. And this is what you will see today. A lot of marketing gimmicks being added to it and things like that. Okay? After that, we are going to go to, in the second week, a studio setting teaching. Why do we call it a studio setting teaching? Generally, our concept of teaching in a studio is that within 90 minutes, a student comes, you give them a small seminar or a class of yoga, a group lesson of yoga, and then they can go. Now, this is a format which can be taught on a retreat, taught in a hotel, taught in a studio, taught in various other places. So it kind of opens up many horizons for you. You'll be able to do your, let's say, for your own entertainment, for your own travel, for your own seeking of job. This I'm talking purely in the sense of those who after the course want to become a teacher. There are many people who do educational courses just to deepen their knowledge. To give you an example, in my individual teacher training, in my personal teacher training, we were about 20 people who did teacher training. You know how many people teach yoga today? 2. One of them, how many of them teaches yoga full time? 1, standing in front of you. All the other people did the training just for deepening their knowledge of yoga. So this studio setting teaching, we are going to talk about many things. We are going to talk about how to begin a class. What is the importance of conducting a class? What kind of an environment to create in a class? What kind of asans to teach in a class? What are the sequence of asans to teach in a class? What kind of meditation to conduct in a class? What kind of a pranayama to conduct in a class? What kind of theory to give to your students? What kind of mantras to chant and stuff like that? It will basically give you an opportunity to go to any place in the world and teach, no matter where you are. So this is something which will be taught to you. This is something which we will cover for 2 days. When you do that, then after that your own individual practical practice of yoga begins as well. What you are going to be taught in that class, you are expected to do it every day on your own. It's not that you come, you learn, and alright, bye-bye, see you after 2 weeks, I'm going to the beach, I'm going to have my frappe, chill, relax, have a couple of martinis, end of story. No, that's not what we are going to do. We are here to become the best versions of ourselves, alright? Because to be really honest, if you just want a certificate, there's millions of people who can give you certificates. Let's just be honest about it. You don't even have to go to some of their trainings. You just give them some money and they'll be like, alright, thank you very much, I'm happy, you're happy, you wanted a certificate, here you go, here's the certificate, I am 500 euros richer than what I was last month. That's about it. Alright, so it's not really about that. And I will tell you something, very honestly. People will catch up whether you practice yoga or not like this. Especially someone who practices yoga. Especially someone when you stand in front of a guru, when you stand in front of a teacher, he will catch you immediately. I don't have to look at your body or anything to understand whether you do yoga or not. I just need to look at your face for 2 minutes and I will tell you how much yoga do you do. I can literally tell you that. This is one of the capabilities which you develop. Because when you do yoga, you know what are the changes which are happening inside of you. And if these are the changes which are happening inside of you, these are the changes which are going to happen in front of everyone else also. And these are characteristics which are not taught in the book. These are some of the cultural aspects. These come from experience. And it will be a lifelong learning lesson. So, we will do many aspects out of that. Alright? Now, after that, we are going to go to the next week, mantra yoga. Alright? This is my absolute favorite, to be really honest. Let's put it like that. Okay? Mantra yoga is pure magic. Pure magic. Why? Because mantra is everywhere. Every single atom is made up of a mantra. Why? If you actually ever notice a mantra, if you actually ever notice an atom, it is moving, right? So when it moves, it's creating a sound. We might not be able to listen to it, but it is making a sound, alright? So mantra exists every single way. And you know, it is that aspect of yoga which takes us in a very beautiful way. It changes your energy. Mantra is something for which you don't need a 6 feet space also. See, one of the things I always said it as a joke was that, you know, why is my profession the best profession in the world? Wherever I sit, my shop is open. I don't need a Wi-Fi, I don't need a laptop, I don't need anything. I sit, my shop is open. Whether it is day, whether it is night. Whether I am in India, whether I am in Greece, whether I am in Even if I'm in the International Space Station, which is not even on land, I just need a place and my shop is open. It depends on me whether I can run it or not run it, whether I want to run it or not, but that's the reality of it. So, mantra is very beautiful. It has a direct impact on your mind. Direct impact on your mind. It comes from the word mantra. So the tool to change the mind, that's what really mantra means. So mantra yoga is the tool which changes the mind through the frequency created inside of ourselves and takes us into a stage of yoga. Yoga is a stage. Understand this. Many people say, I am doing yoga, I am doing yoga, I am doing yoga. But we have to reach that stage of yoga. Same is with meditation. You will understand many things during the educational program. So, mantra are beautiful. It can take you wherever you want. And let me tell you some beautiful things about mantra. You are unhealthy, there is a mantra for that. You want wealth, there is a mantra for that. You want to become famous, there is a mantra for that. You are in trouble and want to get out of that trouble, there is a mantra for that. You want your knee fixed, there is a mantra for that. You have gastric problems, there is a mantra for that. You are not getting pregnant, there is a mantra for that. There is a mantra for almost every single thing. But the complication is that there are some rules and protocols around it. When you hear people do a mantra or a kirtan, and they sing in any rhythm, they are actually not practicing mantra. They might be singing a song which might sound very beautiful to you, it might sound very appealing to you, but there are certain rules and protocols without which you will have many side effects on you. And I can actually take 2-3 very big global names of people who claim to teach mantra yoga and they don't teach it properly. I don't know what their reasons are because I've tried emailing them, I've tried asking them, but they just don't know. That's their problem, not my problem. My job is to teach you in the best capable way what are the rules, what are the protocols, so that you as an individual get the best benefit out of it. You're going to put 200 hours of your time with me. You're going to invest 200 hours of your time with me. You know what am I going to invest in you? My entire life. That is what I will do to you. So I will make sure that whatever topic we touch, we are going to do it in the best possible way on earth. I'm so committed and I'm so passionate about it. It's my calling in life. Then we will go to the topic of karma yoga. Someone of you might want to become a yogi or a yogini, but might not really enjoy the aasan aspect of it. So why should you be left out of yoga? The understanding of yoga has to be understood in the whole way. Yoga is not just doing asans. Yes, asans do play their role in it. Asans do play their role in it. I'm not completely sidelining that. But there is a whole reality of yoga much beyond that. So, karma yoga, we are going to talk about from the aspect of karma, the law of karma, the principles of karma, how to become a karma yogi or a karma yogini, how to achieve success in yoga, knowing what actions to do and what actions to remain away from, knowing what kind of an ideology to follow and what kind of an ideology to stay from for yourself, first and foremost. Like I say for everything, first and the most important person in your life is you. Then comes your family, your father, mother, children. And we will talk about the principle of bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is yoga of love, yoga of devotion. It's beautiful. It's amazing. From the very moment you begin it, you start feeling a divine connection in yourself. If you are committed to it, if you are focused on it, if you create that kind of energy inside of yourself, it will start having the impact on your existence from the word that you first time listen to it. That's how powerful and beautiful it is. That's how magical the system of Bhakti Yoga is. To give you an idea, there are more or less 4 systems of yoga. Raja Yoga. Everything that you talk about, as far as practical body is concerned, comes under the category of Raja Yoga. It can be Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, whatever you talk about, does not really matter. It will be categorized under Raja Yoga. One branch. The second branch, Karma Yoga. The third branch, Jnan Yoga. Jnan Yoga is the achievement of yoga through the power of knowledge and wisdom. So, our educational program is actually a Jnan Yoga program. To be in all reality, it constitutes learning yoga through wisdom and everything. And finally, Bhakti Yoga. So, according to the ancient scriptures, in the age that we currently live in today, it has been categorized as the age suitable for Bhakti Yoga. Imagine that. How many people in this room know about Bhakti Yoga? By a show of hands. Alright, it's better than the last number that we got. I'm very pleased about it. So this is again, we will learn about that. What are the concepts of Bhakti Yoga? What's the beauty of Bhakti Yoga? How to become a Bhakt? And how to take on that kind of a journey. After that, we are going to go to the history of Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Now, we get to the second part of the training. Till now is the first part of the training. We are setting up, till now, we were setting up the foundations of yoga. Alright? So almost 100 hours have been spent and we've just set up the foundation of yoga, the basics of yoga. And now we go to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Now Srimad Bhagavad Gita is, let's say, the best gift to mankind. One of the best gifts to mankind. Okay. I would recognize this as so important, and not just me, that when the Prime Minister of India, he goes on a state visit to different countries, he gives the other prime ministers and presidents Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That if India has offered something to the world which the whole world can benefit from, it is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Gita means song. Bhagavad means the supreme divine. So in totality it means the divine song. It is a book which is roughly 5,700 years old. More or less, plus minus 100 years. And it talks about various issues which all of us face. It is about a warrior and the divine giving it wisdom to become a yogi. See, the day and age that we live in, all of us are at some level going through some level of crisis. Now, whether that crisis is internal or whether it is through external, government, environmental, political, social, ideological, does not really matter, but at least at some level, all of us are going through some sort of a crisis. This book, I don't even know why I'm calling it book. I actually refer to it as the divine energy which is talking to you in the form of words. So this divine energy which is talking to you in the form of words, it will take you to the stage of perfection. It will tell you how to solve all your problems, how to become a yogi within one lifetime, within a small span of time. What kind of food to eat, what kind of things to do, what kind of ideology to do, what are the challenges in front of you, what is expected out of you. It will address the issue of karma yoga also, bhakti yoga also, jnana yoga also, and raja yoga also. It will talk about the challenges faced by each and every one of us in our lives. It is enough to take you on a journey of enlightenment. That's how beautiful it is. But to understand this book, we have to understand also the history of this book. Why are we discussing this book? What was the situation created that the divine had to manifest on earth and give this proclamation and this sermon to a king or a prince or a warrior? Why was it to be given? So we will understand all those aspects as well. Then, we go to Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. All of you have heard what is meditation? Yeah, by a show of hands. You know what's a meditation or a technique of meditation? More or less. Every meditation that exists in the world, it comes from this book. It is the mother of meditation. It is a dialogue between Shiv and Shakti, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, where the divine masculine takes the form of a teacher, and look at the beauty of the divine feminine. She loves the children of the universe so much that she takes the role of a student. And then they have a dialogue between each other. And through this dialogue are revealed these 112 techniques. Each one of them powerful enough to unite you with super consciousness. That's the beauty of it. There are going to be many misconceptions in your mind regarding Tantra. I will shatter them. Whatever you have heard of Tantra, more or less, I've been also living here for the last 3.5 years. I've also heard a lot of things about Tantra. So we will discuss many things. What is the fact of it? What is the not fact of it and everything? And these are things which you can practice yourself. Give it to your students. Give it to your family members. This is something which you can share with anyone. It's the most profound book of spirituality. If spirituality was a range of mountains, this is the Mount Everest of it. That's the strength and the beauty of this book. It was written by a very big and a very famous master called Abhinav Gupta. And he gave this book. How did he give this book? He had a transcendental meditation. In this transcendental meditation, he became one with the universe, and during this union which he had with the universe, they revealed the knowledge to him. You have that book, by the way. I gifted it to you long time ago. So, after that, we are going to go to special needs yoga classes. Alright? In this topic, we are going to cover more or less 3 other aspects of the yoga studio training or whatever we are going to do. Now, in that aspect, what are we going to do is, we are going to learn about prenatal yoga. That if tomorrow a woman is pregnant, in different semesters, what to teach her, to have a specialized class. We are going to learn yoga for children. If you have a child coming, if you want to organize a yoga lesson for, let's say, 10-year-old children, what to do. If you want to organize yoga for 12-year-olds, 13 years old, 14 years old, what to do. And what we are going to additionally do is yoga for corporate. That if tomorrow you want to go and teach yoga in an office environment, in a corporate environment, how to teach yoga to those people. How to give them the benefit of asans to those people. So we will do some understanding of that particular element as well. Alright? So this will be an additional course material for you. Okay? After that, we are going to go to Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Whatever you have read, heard, ever about the physical aspect of yoga, more or less comes from this one book. It was written by Swami Swatmarama. Amazing guy, beautiful guy. See, the concept of yoga in India was, at some point of time, like I told you, things get lost, right? So someone has a little bit knowledge and goes some other way. Someone has another bit of knowledge, goes away. Someone has another bit of knowledge, goes away. This is what Swami Swatma Rama did. So Swatma Rama went to the different parts of the Indian subcontinent. Back then, Indian subcontinent used to be a very big place. Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Burma, Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Fiji, Indonesia. All of this was India, by the way. So he went around all these places, took all the knowledge and compiled this one book, which gives us the basic elements, the most important elements of yoga, the physical yoga we are talking about. Okay? So we are going to discuss that in depth, in detail, and that is when our knowledge of this aspect is going to go much more deeper into it. Okay? It's a very modern commentary that we are going to read on it, but it's directly translated from Sanskrit. There's no dilution in it. So that will be the most important aspect. Alright? And finally, no, not finally, we still have a little bit more to go. We are going to go and read Patanjali Yoga Sutras. We are going to understand Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is one of the most amazing things to have ever happened to mankind. It's a book written about more or less 300 or 400 years before Jesus was born. So, imagine, just to give you an idea, that some people who became yogi with the help of the sutras compiled by Patanjali, even actually met your Alexander the Great. He wanted to meet them. He wanted to study them. So imagine that the curiosity of yoga and yogis in the Greek psyche has been for how long a time? We could call it ancient, literally, you know. So imagine that kind of connection has been there between us. I fondly call you people, by the way, the Indians of Europe, right? Like, for me, I don't even remember how many times. It's a very big compliment. I think India is the greatest nation on the world or something. So if I call you Indians of the Europe, I'm not pulling you down. I'm actually putting a very big crown on your head. So don't think that I'm like saying something bad to you or something. So then Patanjali Yoga Sutra is going to give us our wisdom. We are also going to study two other aspects which are indirectly related. Not directly related, but indirectly they are very, very important. This is over.
This is over? Okay.
So, we are going to talk about Ayurveda. Yoga and Ayurveda are like husband and wife. Wherever the husband goes, the wife goes. Wherever the wife goes, the husband goes. Otherwise either the wife is unhappy or the husband is unhappy. Alright? For this, we have a specialized teacher who is going to talk to you about diet, nutrition, impact of all of this in addition to whatever we speak in the sense of yoga. You are going to have a full day seminar with this lady. She is going to talk about many different aspects of Ayurveda and going to answer every question and prepare many things for you for a better understanding. And last and finally, we will reach the stage where one of my very close friends, see, I have a very old friend, I know him for about 10 or 11 years. About that point of time, our life took a similar journey but in different directions. I decided to go into the teaching of yoga and he went into the business of yoga. So he has a retreat hosting website, very famous one. Teacher trainings, retreats of yoga and many other aspects. You can go and host it on his website. So he has been dealing about the business aspect of yoga, the professional aspect of yoga for a very long time. And he is going to give you a seminar. He's in India, he can't come here, but he will give you an online seminar. He's going to give you an online seminar about the business of yoga. What to do, how to do, what are the components, how to conduct retreats, etc., etc., etc. So you will have at least that angle as well. Now, having said that, we are also going to, like I said, you are going to be from the second week onwards, you are going to be practicing yoga. This is expected out of you. So, slowly, we are going to reach a point where you will have to conduct a class in front of me. Don't worry, I'm not going to abandon you and run away. I will be there to support you and be there with you and guide you and make you give notes and everything. I'll be there with you in every single step. I will answer every problem as many times as you want. Ask any of my students. I have students who have taken the same 200-hour courses some 4 times. Because they just wanted to get in depth with the thing. They wanted the course in such a manner that it is almost like a permanent tattoo on their mind. So, we are almost nearing my part of the presentation. So, what I will do when the teacher training is going to get over, I will do my best to always be there for you, to pull you back on track, to guide you, to not let you go crazy in your life. Because one day you will be like, oh, today I'm a yoga teacher. Oh, look at me. Next day you will have a picture on Instagram, yogi and everything. So to remind you of what we are trying to achieve, to remind you what are you trying to achieve, to remind you your pure essence, that you as an individual are divine. Why do you want to sell yourself for a few peanuts? You are literally a god and a goddess sitting. And what do you want to do? Act like a monkey for an audience? That's not who you are. You are something much more magical. So pure that you don't even have an understanding, you've gone so far away from it. Can you see the Acropolis from here? You can't, right? Because you've gone so away from it. But Acropolis exists, right? Same is like you. You've just come a little bit away from your own individual Acropolis. But you are divine, you are pure, you are that. You are fit to be a god and a goddess. Your true nature was that of divine and supreme. Society kept on telling us, you were born, right, you're a Greek, you're a man, you're a woman, then you become a mother, then the propaganda comes in, I support this party, I support that party, then social media comes in, I'm a feminist, this person is a toxic, masculine, blah 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 blah, and you just keep on creating new and new barriers in front of you. And what are these barriers doing? They are not letting you look at that divine self which you are and which everyone else is as well. It's not an egoistic statement. An egoistic statement would be saying that the God club is an exclusive club. There's only one God in it. It's an inclusive thing because we are saying everyone is. Everyone's supreme, everyone's divine, everyone's magical, everyone's equal. If you put the right effort, if you put the right knowledge into wisdom, you will achieve that. No power on earth has the power to stop you except for yourself. This I can guarantee you that. If you know how to keep that fire alive inside of you and just make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, I can tell you, you will achieve yoga. You will become one. And then you will become that tree under which every human on earth will want to sit. When you have a summer day, people are troubled. Don't they want to go sit under a tree? But that tree, if it has no leaves on it and it's a dead tree, no one wants to sit on it. So we will try to become that big, beautiful, grand tree which can support everyone, which can nourish the birds, which can nourish humans, which can nourish earth, which can do fulfillment of every single thing. We are that tree, and we have the power of becoming that tree. We just have to take the journey, one step at a time, not feel bad about it. Have that strength and that motivation and that conviction inside of you. Otherwise it will sound very strange that I, an external factor, have that much, what do you say, understanding that you are this, but you do not have that understanding. You should have the same belief in yourself as much as I have in you. Because that is the truth. I am bound by my rules, by my duty to speak the truth at all given points of time. And I am telling you the truth, that you are capable of doing that. Everyone's a born yoga teacher, they just aren't aware of it. And now I will give you the tools to become that. So, with this, I think I will finish my side of talking to you. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me.
Thanks.
Malika,
We will see the testimonials.
we will just see some testimonials, what people have spoken about. So let's begin with Katrina's testimonial. She is that person, just to give you an idea, she's that person whom you can credit, whom you can give credit for me being here. She convinced me to come to Greece. She was so passionate about it. I had left for India for good, and she had that kind of a passion. She would call me every day. Teacher, please come back, please come back, please come back. I want to learn, I want to learn, I want to learn, I want to learn. Please come back, please come back. Every day of my life, she would call me out 2-3 times a day and destroy my happiness. At some point of time, I said, if I will come, then will you be quiet? I said, yes, I will never trouble you if you come. I said, just to keep you quiet, I am willing to come back. But look, it was actually her passion, her desire, that she had done yoga with me as a group student, by the way. I met her in Andros, and she did yoga with me only for one time. And she said, when are you going to Athens? I said, in 2 months. She said, I'm going to see you in Athens. I went to Athens. She started doing yoga training with me. She started doing yoga group lessons with me. After 3-4 months, I left for India. And that's the time when she started troubling me. And this one individual forced me to come back. So we will listen to her story from her own mouth. So this is Katrina talking about her own journey.
And I am a yoga teacher. I'm teaching traditional Indian yoga taught by Guru Siddhartha Shiv Khanna. And I would like to introduce you my journey through yoga, and specifically through the teacher training of 200 hours by SivaOm School of Yoga. So to begin with, since I remember myself, I was always very anxious. I don't know exactly why, and attached to perfection. And I was doing different kinds of sports and athletics until I was always bored and stopping. I ended up to the point that I was really chubby. I was really unhealthy, both physically and mentally. And that had a very serious impact on my psychology and self-esteem as well, resulting in increasing my anxiety even more, and changed my life forever and who I am, or I actually found who I really am. Since that day, I had an experience that I cannot even explain to you, but I saw that something was changing inside me. From the first day, I didn't understand what I was doing for the first yoga class, but I knew I wanted to learn this thing, to do it by myself, wherever I am, in the most perfect and correct way, the way it was created in India, many, many thousands of years ago. So I knew from the first moment, honestly, that I want to become a yoga teacher, but that kind of yoga teacher. Life brought me and the teacher together, our paths crossed. Since then I've done 4 teacher trainings with SivaOm School of Yoga. And I tried also parallel very many other teachers and schools in order to be able to compare and see what is happening in the world of yoga, at least in Greece. So during the teacher training, this process was very exciting, very happy, very challenging, very deep, and very difficult at some point. In the end, after every single training, I was discovering by reading philosophy of yoga and Sanskrit ancient texts, which were introducing me to a thing that explained how the world is and how human beings and all creatures work. So everything changed inside. After I finished these trainings, I decided that I want to pass this knowledge to as many people as possible, just so I can serve them and bring this gift to as many people as possible so they can be the best self. So now I'm teaching yoga, traditional Indian yoga. The yoga I was taught by SivaOm for 2 years, and I'm practicing 4 years. And every day I discover new things about myself, and I feel every day more and more calm and balanced. This is a journey that never ends, and the process that every day becomes interesting, beautiful, and helps you become better. And now, during the time that I was visiting also other teachers, and I still do, and other schools, so that I can see what is happening, the first thing that I observed is that the difference between SivaOm and other schools of yoga is that SivaOm is a family, which might sound like something that anyone could say, but it really is a family. It's a house that everything that's there is yours. And there's always a kind, nice person there to welcome you, to hug you, and to really take care of you and help you love yourself, which is the teacher Siddhartha. So that's the main difference between SivaOm School of Yoga and other schools. And then when it comes to the knowledge, I've never in Greece seen a teacher had, first of all, the knowledge of Sanskrit, which is the root of mantras and basic rules or like systems in the yoga philosophy. So for me it's very important, because yoga is also about detail and accuracy, to find a really skilled, well-trained teacher who has experience from the source of yoga, and that's where SivaOm comes and makes a real difference in the terms of the teaching and the teacher, because Siddhartha was born in India and came in Greece for the past 5 years only. So it's like a gift for this country to have a real, authentic Indian guru with us, so we can have an experience of this knowledge. And my advice to the people who might accidentally or in purpose see and stumble to that video is that the philosophy, the culture, the system, the path of yoga is a gift to humanity, and everyone who comes into it is lucky, and everyone should look for it. So that's why I suggest to everyone to attend traditional 200-hour SivaOm teacher training, because whether you want to become a teacher of yoga or not, I think it's a gift to be able to practice yoga individually or with other people in the correct way and receive all the benefits from this amazing creation that explains how we work and how the universe works. And also the last thing I want to say is because the reason that yoga was lost many, many times and rediscovered among the centuries was because people get confused sometimes and they might misinterpret or adjust the way it's convenient and easy. Some things that cannot be adjusted. So after the teacher training, please try to stick to the SivaOm teacher training principles and pass any knowledge you get in the correct, respectful way, so that we all share and contribute to the traditional Indian yoga to be passed through people and through generations and benefit as many people as possible. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Now start with Constantino Maria.
Whichever.
Constantino?
So, this is Constantina. She just graduated from the previous teacher training. She's already done a few courses. She's a nerd. She's literally a nerd. She takes one topic and wants to take some 20-30 different courses, wants to sit on Google and research that topic, just wants to live that topic, eat that topic, breathe that topic. Okay? Very amazing person, very sweet, loving, kind person. So let's listen to what Constantina has to say, because this will give you an idea, more or less. My first student and the last person who graduated, it will give you a good contrast and understanding what it really means.
Hi everyone. This is a statement about my experience on the SivaOm teacher training course.
Is it audible to you? Can you listen? Yes.
It is about our 200 teacher training course, which was held during October of 2019 and February 2020. For me, it was the second teacher training course, and after I had accomplished the first one here in Athens, I was curious what it would be to have a teacher training course in India. I am an Indian teacher, whether it would be different, what it would be different, what way. So when I heard about Guruji Siddhartha's teacher training course, I was very enthusiastic to be there and see what is happening. It was like an angel from the source was being sent to me, and like it was an opportunity I wouldn't want to miss by anything. These months during that teacher training course were a revelation, because in every teacher training course on yoga you will be shown how to teach asanas or how to teach breathing techniques, but I don't believe you will be given the chance to go through holy books like the Bhagavad Gita or the Vivekananda books, and something like 7 or 8 books that we went through together with our teacher, word by word, where you have the chance to ask what you want to ask and give your own perception about things and have this interaction on philosophy. I feel like I'm really blessed that I came across Guruji Siddhartha. I feel like I have a teacher for lifelong, and like I have a lifelong friend, and like I met a life coach. Thanks for teaching us, for being our guide in this path. I am enchanted by Sanatana Dharma and everything that we've learned, and I feel eternally grateful. For someone who is thinking whether to have the course or not, I would say, as in everything, and especially about yoga, the energy that you invest will be given back to you multiplied by 10 or by 1,000. The gifts are so valuable and innumerable. Every day you will wake up grateful and more conscious and wiser, I would dare to say. As much time as you give to it, in studying, in practicing, in applying what you learn in everyday life, you will realize that if you smile, it's very important. So I'm wishing you a great start in this path, and I look forward to meet some of you or all of you sometime and talk together. You are about to enter the brotherhood. For us it was a sisterhood. Well, you know what I mean. You are about to enter a community that there is a lot of solidarity, a lot of people that will come across you, and you know you will be talking about the same thing and being interested in the same thing. Our teacher himself is available 24 hours to talk on yoga, on issues that are important for you. This is one of the most valuable gifts you will have in life. So take care of yourselves, have a great start, and enjoy your course. Bye-bye, namaste.
I think now you've heard what the students who've graduated and now they are teachers have to say. So we can move on to the next aspect of knowing about the other details and everything. And for that, Marika is going to provide you with all the information. Once we are done with that, then both of us can stand here and we can address the questions one by one. Anything related to yoga, directly related to yoga, teaching of yoga, that question is for me. Anything that is related to anything, please, Marika will answer that. Alright? So, thank you. We are very clear about this. don't confuse yourself and me also.
Hi, for me, I'm Marika. I have already known and I have spoken with all of you. The history behind this time we are here is that I have never thought about host a teacher training here, never. And have the opportunity to meet Siddhartha this year before my trip in my aasan immediately. So I met him, and from the first hour I decided that in some way I will work with Siddhartha, but I didn't know the way, okay? He was actually wanting to pick some things in his mother in India. The second step was that I met his mother in India, in my ashram, and then I definitely decided that for sure I will work with Siddhartha. And when I came back, I felt so lucky that I actually met one Indian person and one Indian guru here in Greece. It was like a miracle to me. I didn't believe that. And it was very clear for me that this is the only teacher training that I wanted to host here in my home, in my studio. And despite all this situation in Greece, and all over the world, we decided with Siddhartha that we will offer this because it was a strange year for all of us, and we thought about this, but we decided that the best thing that we can offer to you and to all of the students is this teacher training. So we will actually begin in 10th of October. We will have 12 to 13 weekends together. The program and the seminar will begin exactly at 10 o'clock in the morning. So you have to be here at least 15 minutes earlier. Okay, so we will start on time. We will begin the seminar for 1.5 hours. We will do a break of half an hour, and then at 12 o'clock we will begin our yoga class, our practice, for 1.5 hours again. Then we will have a break for lunch or for whatever we need to clean our mind after the practice. And we will begin at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the second part, until 7 o'clock in the evening. We will have 2 more breaks of 15 minutes between them. It's very important for us to have at least 80% of attendance in our teacher training. It's very important for us to see and to be here and to have at least the 80% of them. If somebody wants and lost some seminars because of any reason, I don't know, we will send them, but you can come again in the other training to see the seminar. It's very important for us to have to have the seminar here and not only for distance. What else? I think that Siddhartha tells all the details about the program. I think that it's a perfect program. I think that it's the best way to know about yoga, to know about the authentic knowledge of yoga for you and after for all the others. After the training, we will have our exams. We will decide together 2 dates. Okay, you will pick up some day of those, and we will have practical exams, theoretical exams, and we will have a 5,000 words of essay thesis, okay, of any topic of that you will choose. Okay, this is for your certifications, and we will have then our certification. Siddhartha, do you want to see all the certificates that Siddhartha Ji gives to you?
Yes, you can see it and you can just pass it on. This
you
is
can see it. And then the main part for us is to this teacher training to be part of your daily life, because if you don't have decided that, nothing is going to teach you this teacher training. You have to be very decided about do all this great thing. Okay, and the other thing that I am sure is that Siddhartha will be after the teacher training close to you all, because then it will start the real journey about your yoga practices, your yoga life, your daily practices, or in a professional or in your life. Okay. I'm very glad that you all are here, and I think that we all very lucky to be here this day in Greece with an Indian yoga guru like Siddhartha Ji. Namaste. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you, Siddhartha.
Oh, don't go anywhere, they might have questions.
Okay.
So, let's begin with the front row. Okay, and then we'll go one row till the time we reach the last person. So whatever questions you have, just let's begin like that. So since it is the right teacher training, let's begin from the right person. Okay. So no, you can ask from there. We'll just, whatever your question is, I'll just repeat it on the mic, and then so that everyone who is watching this at home can also listen to these questions and everything, okay? Whatever questions, if anything related to education of yoga to me, otherwise Marika will answer, okay?
My name is Natalie. I'm
Pleasure meeting you, Natalia.
I'm very enthusiastic about all this. I haven't done yoga for a long time. I have attended yoga classes here with Marika Skalaki. So I was very, in a way, sure that she would she would choose a very a person that would be very proper. Yes. Yes. Okay. So the question is that about me. I don't know if I don't think if this period would be long enough for me to go very deep into this. This is my question, because I understand the way that you are practicing yoga, I mean the depth of it. You want us to go very deep in this. And I don't know how much, how could I be ready in April to, I don't know, this is my question, how, for me, about me.
Sure.
About my, you know.
I will sum up your question that are 6 or 7 months enough for me to get deep into yoga?
Yes.
More or less, this is the question, right?
Yes.
See, this actually depends upon 2 factors. How good is the teacher that can, the teacher or the guru, give the right knowledge in any given point of time. Alright? The second aspect is that how good or capable is the student to receive this knowledge, communication and every single thing, and understanding. So, however, having said that, you will have enough knowledge to at least go and teach yoga, practice yoga, and then it's a lifelong journey. Like one of the first things which I said in the beginning, that someone, when they asked me that how long have you been practicing yoga for, I don't have an answer to that. I say many lifetimes. I wouldn't have reached this situation today if I had not been practicing it for a very long time. I'm not talking about Instagram yogis. I'm talking about people who are really hell-bent. 300-hour advanced course with me. And I told her, Katrina, now you are ready to do an advanced teacher training. The relationship between a teacher and a student, what I began the concept as the Guru Shishya Parampara, the tradition and the lineage of the Guru and the student. You actually have to remain my student for 12 years. After 12 years, I'm going to finally graduate you. No, but for that I won't give you a certificate. For that I will give you my blessing. So it's such a long journey that in the traditional system of yoga, and we are not even talking about, what do you say, a little bit of interaction. We are saying the Student lives with the Guru for 12 years. So for 12 years you will be under my care, and I will pull you up, I will motivate you. Sometimes if I see your ego becoming very big, I will correct you. Sometimes if you are not motivated, I will give you all my love and motivate you and make you realize that you are more important than anything or anyone on earth. I will remind you that also. I will say, oh, even 10 Donald Trump are not half as important as you. So I will be there for you, for everything, to make sure that you will achieve yoga. They are not joking that I am always available. Imagine that if a man is willing to sacrifice his family, his friends, his own culture, identity and everything, just to leave everything and come here to teach one person yoga. What can that one man do for you? Think about that. Food for some thought. Does that answer your question? Thank you very much, Nanda. Please.
Thank you. My name is Angelo.
Angelo.
And in the last 5 years, I always looking to find a school for yoga, but a traditional school. Sometimes I was thinking to visit India.
It's a beautiful country, you should.
Yeah. And but some reasons, some reasons didn't give me this chance to go. But it's a place for me to meet a real India guy here, and for me it was a need to.
Should I show you my passport, by the way? Till now, huh? If you have any doubts, like I can show you my passport.
Thank you very much. It was an internal need because of some problems that I had to follow and to meet this way of living. And the question is that, okay, for me, I'm sure that yoga will help me in my life to be more conscious and to improve my life. But the question is that I am 50 years old, so I'm not so my body is not so flexible. It's a little bit tough. So if I wanted to teach other people, other persons, I think maybe I will not be so good teacher for them because I'm not so capable to show with the correct way the asanas and so on. So I'm a little bit wondering if okay, I will be good teacher or not. But for me, most of all, I want to follow this, to attend this course for my spirituality, for myself. So I don't care so much if I will be able.
No, it's a fair question and I will answer it, don't worry.
Okay, the most significant, the most important for me is to reach a level of spirituality through yoga, more or less. But for creativity, because in the last year I have turned from my previous job, because inside of me finished a circle, and now
good for you.
Circle.
Good for you.
It's like that I reborn.
Good for you.
I'm reborn.
I'm happy about the decision you made. So Agilos asked the question that I'm 50 years old, I'm not flexible, my body hurts and I have many problems. Will I be able to teach yoga? Till the age of 24, 25, my father used to call me, oh, you are a born grandfather. My joints were hurting everywhere all the time, okay? So he was like, you're a papu. In your Greek language, he would say that you're a papu. My knees were hurting, my back was hurting, everything. I'd abused my body a lot. I used to go swim for 2-3 hours every day. I used to go jogging for 2-3 hours every day. This takes a toll on your body, very bad toll. That's almost 5 to 6 hours of daily exercise. Daily exercise, non-stop from the time I was like 5 or 6. I told my mother, I don't know how much Coca-Cola you drank before giving birth to me. I always feel like running all the time. I'm always like on a sugar high. But I also started doing all of that. And I can show you many things which a person like me, who was, now I'm 36, a person who was that person at the age of 24 should not be able to do that. Like someone will say it's not. So it is not actually what is your age. How much do you practice? How much are you motivated? This will decide. You are the factor, not the external factor. At some point of time when we will start doing yoga, you will not only see that you have stopped aging, but you will see that you have started reverse aging. So, first of all, I don't think so you look 50 to me to begin with. Alright, but yes, but even having said that, we have the power of yoga, which means that if we practice it the way that we should practice it, you will never be 51. Biologically, you will never be 51. You will remain at 50. The kind of flexibility, mental, physical, everything. See, first of all, we should not get stuck. This is why I give you a very long explanation of what is yoga. To teach yoga, you don't need to even know asans to begin with. I am going to teach you karma yoga, bhakti yoga, mantra yoga, raj yoga. I am going to teach you yoga even for people who sit in a chair and can do that. So you will have so many tools if you want to teach yoga. Firstly, if you want to teach yoga, you will have the best tools available to you to be able to teach it to anyone on earth. Whether it's an 8-year-old child from Greek or whether it's a 90-year-old person from Britain or whether it's some other person. Male, female does not really matter. Lovable person, angry person does not matter. You will be able to teach that person. But stick to what I teach you and then you will have the best results for you. If you are going to try to be creative and innovative and you will go away from the authentic knowledge of yoga, then don't come to me that you told me results will happen, results are not coming. Then don't blame me. For that you will have only yourself to blame. But if you stick to the method, first you will, what did I say in the beginning? That whatever dream version Aggelos has of himself, Aggelos will firstly become that. And then he'll be able to make other people their dream version of themselves also. So don't be bothered about it. I have seen many people who were even born crippled. At least you're just having joint pains. But all your limbs are intact. I have seen people with polio, disorders, kidney failures, heart attacks, blah 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 blah, in front of my eyes, who have made a full recovery. And after that, gone on to become stronger through the help of yoga. But if you are going to practice yoga, that is not the purpose. The purpose is to become enlightened. The purpose is to become liberated. While you follow that purpose, everything else will happen. Like let's say becoming young, becoming flexible, becoming strong, becoming peaceful, becoming compassionate, becoming a better version of yourself. All these are the side effects of yoga. They are not the main goal of yoga. But if we follow that main goal of yoga, all these side effects, they will automatically happen. So don't be narrow-visioned and narrow-sighted and say, oh, let me pick up a gold nugget. But you are forgetting that the mountain in front of you is made out of gold. Don't forget the mountain for the search of a nugget, okay? Alright, does that answer your question?
Yes, you have answered.
Thank you. Please, let's go.
Hello, I'm Leona. Nice to meet you all, especially you. I think that
especially everyone. Everyone's equal.
Yeah.
See, at some level, if you practice yoga as much as me, you'll also one day be standing in this position. This is just a matter of practice. Let me be very honest with you.
Yeah.
This is why I said that I don't want to cut you or anything, but I just want your ideology to be perfect from the word go.
Yeah.
One day you have the capability of standing exactly where I am standing and giving the same motivational speech to other people. We all have that same capability. Okay? I'm just reminding you this. You already know this.
Okay. I think I have no question. Because I'm doing yoga, I'm also teaching. I think I'm not a teacher, but I'm student always. And I love to meet and doing more studies about yoga. And I'm very glad and feel so grateful to meet you. So I think yoga is a path. It's never end.
Eventually it does when you...
Of course. Yeah. But I know what to say. I think it's grateful to leave this path and walk.
Sure. We agree completely, and this is why we are sitting in one room and talking to each other. So, thank you very much for coming and listening to us for such a long time and giving us your time. And
decided to have a teacher's training course in order to expand my potential and my abilities, and also because the last couple of years I've decided to take care more of myself, take care of my internal self and my body and my spirit and my mental health. So I decided to, this summer, it was like something alive linked, and I said, oh, I'm going to do this yoga training class, and I started searching. So because I wanted to, like Angela said, I wanted to, like a chapter of my life closed, like more of the dancer career. So I wanted to get involved more in teaching chapter.
they are interrelated. You know, the god of yoga is also the god of dance in our culture. So it's not very different, by the way.
Yeah.
We think of dancers in a very high category. There are said to be 64 forms of art which exist in the universe, and dancing is one of them. You know, and after that comes yoga. So I mean, they are so interrelated to each other.
Yeah.
So you will find it very easy, actually.
I feel very connected, and I feel.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised.
And also, when my origins, my family origins are a little bit conservative, and we grew up in a very religious environment, Orthodox church. So when I decided to, when I said to my brothers, I'm going to have a yoga training class, and I was very enthusiastic, and then let's say, what are you going to do? And I was very surprised with their reaction, and then I was like we had two different worlds, trying to connect. And I was trying to listen to them, listen to their worries and all that stuff. And they say that Orthodox Church, yoga is like a cult, and they pray to the devil, deities, things like that. And I was very shocked with what they knew about it, and it was something I never thought about it. So I wanted to ask you, what is your state, what is your place in all those?
Sure. See, first of all, what you have to understand that it's not really any kind of a cult to begin with, My cult would have been if I was telling you to go and kill people in my name. If I'm telling you that go and kill people in my name, it means that I'm starting a cult. Or I'm telling you, come to me and worship me and forget the rest of the world. Then it could be called as a cult. But here, I'm only saying to you, become the best version of yourself. Don't be violent with anyone. Be a good person to your country. Be a good person to your neighbor. Be a good person to earth. Be a good person to animals, birds, all the species and be a very good, loving husband, father, mother, daughter, friend to everyone that you meet in life. I think this is not a very cultish language to begin with. Secondly, is it a religion? No, it's not. It's a way of life. And even the Supreme Court of India has passed this judgment. I actually carry that judgment with me because I live in Greece. So you're not the first person to ask me this question. I literally carry that statement with me in my pocket that if anyone is going to ask me, are you following a different religion or not? I am not. And the Supreme Court of India, which is the highest legislative, judicial body of a country recognized by international judicial bodies and laws, is saying that this is not a religious practice. What more can I say? Another thing, in our country, in our culture, in our way of life, do you know we consider Jesus as one of the epitomes of being a yogi? Being a yogi is the highest achievement a person can have in their society. If you are a yogi in India, and like I said, you have to become a yogi. It's not that today I do asans and I become a yogi. There are many things I have to become and then I become a yogi. It is even a king bows down to a yogi in the form of respect. And I am saying, what does the Greeks of 2020 do? Pray to Jesus? We also respect Jesus equally. I think I respect Jesus more than most of the people I have met in this country. Frankly speaking, very honestly speaking, I think I find him as a great role model. And this is my firm belief. This is from my own individual understanding that a man who was getting crucified is in endless pain. His bones are shattering, his blood is being splattered, his own relatives are being killed and everything. And even in that moment, he is smiling and forgiving his people. If this is not the trait of a yogi, I don't know what is the trait of a yogi. So for me, Jesus is a very great yogi. And this is the highest compliment I can give to any person on earth. I cannot give any bigger compliment than this. For me to recognize someone as a yogi, I know so many teachers of yoga. I have never once called them yogi. But for me to recognize someone as a yogi, I think this is where my story finishes. That I do not have bigger words than this. And I am saying Jesus was a yogi. Very respectable one. We should honor him wherever we go. Why just in Greece? Wherever we go. We should honor people like Buddha, Siddhartha. We should honor people like Guru Nanak. These are the yogis whose principles we should follow. They give us wisdom, education, knowledge to become better humans. They are the real gurus. Who is a guru? Let me tell you who is a guru. Not in the literal way, but in the technical way. Guru is made up of two words, gu and ru. Darkness meaning gu and ru meaning light. So someone who has the capability of taking you from darkness into light is your guru. So for us, Jesus is a guru, Jesus is a yogi. When someone does not understand a certain topic and they venture into the unknown,